everyone. This is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and today in this video I am going to be wrapping some presents for a local giving tree. So we picked up 2 tags for individual kiddos. The way that our local organization does it is by individual kid, and we picked out some gifts for them. And on each tag, the kids are able to write one thing that they would really like. And for our first kiddo, it was a little girl, and she wrote Barbies. So we got just Barbie stuff, and it is a little bit tricky the way our organization does it, and we don't really know if there are other siblings in this family, so we didn't want to go like way above and beyond just in case there are other kids in this family that maybe wouldn't have that same experience or just kind of got like what was on their tag, which is kind of like what's expected. So we kind of had like a set price limit for each kid that we gave ourselves, and then we spent like the same amount. But again, we don't know if, the 2 tags that we got are from the same family or not, so we just kind of did what we thought might be best. So let me show you the gifts that we have to wrap for the first kid. So this gift here is, I think, the largest for this kiddo, and you can see that it is a Cook and Create kitchen Barbie set. And we think, because it says Netflix up here, we don't have kids, we don't like watch kids shows, so we were thinking that maybe like this is a kid show. We don't really know, but we thought that this was really cute. And on the tag they had actually said like Barbie / like play kitchen, and we tried to find kind of like play kitchen sets that were for like older kids, like our kids age, but we were only really finding ones for like young toddlers, and we didn't want to just kind of get that. So we thought this would be maybe a good kind of in between to do a Barbie kitchen set. And I think this one is so cute. It has some it's like this roasted turkey, and it has this like turkey roasting oven here, a regular oven down here. There's like this prep station, and then I think that this Barbie is Teresa. Not too sure, but this also says there's like color changing elements here, which is really fun. Let's flip it over and see what's on the back, so we can kind of see everything here that this comes with. Yeah, see, there's like these little, I don't know if they're supposed to be like cookies or something, but they change colors as you like baste them, or maybe like put water on them. I'm not sure, but we thought this was really cute. It was kind of like a good in-between for us. So this is the first gift. I'm going to show all of the gifts and then I will wrap them. And this here is the second gift, and this is a Barbie Ultimate Closet. And this is a little closet wardrobe that comes with some hangers for you to organize all of your Barbie outfits. I saw this and I was like, this speaks to me as an adult. Like, I want this. It's like, as a little girl, I would have loved this so much. And you can see there are some like shelves, there's some hanging space, there's like a wardrobe rack over here where you can hang full outfits. So this was just so cute, and this is just what the back looked like. I was just seeing if there's anything else on here. I just really loved it. So we got this, and of course we didn't really know like if the kiddo that we were shopping for has Barbies already or has Barbie outfits already. So I didn't want to gift this without picking up a couple of extra outfits. So this was the second gift. And then to go along with that wardrobe, we picked up 2 of these little individual Barbie outfit packs that also come with their own little hangers, which is so stinking cute. I love it. So this first outfit here is kind of like an adorable, almost like a cowgirl sundress with these white flowers, like it's all blue, these white flowers, and then there are these little cowgirl boots that are white with the blue flowers. And then this one does come with some sunglasses. So this was the first outfit we got for them. And then this one is kind of more of like a fun going out outfit. And this one has these kind of black strappy wedge sandals. And this red dress with pink hearts. It looks like it's maybe kind of like a strappy like halter top or something going on up there. And then it has this really cute kind of bubble, like a clear plastic purse that I feel like is really trendy. It's like a very Y2K, I think. So I thought these were really cute. I liked that they came with an outfit, shoes, and an accessory. So we got these 2 outfits, and of course we wish that we could do more. We were thinking next year we might call our organization and just kind of like ask, like, hey, is there a family that we could adopt or something like that, just to make sure that we're able to like do more for the kids and make sure that it's equal for like any of the siblings that are in that family too. So that is everything that we got for the first kiddo. And now I'm going to show you everything we got for the second kid. Now, our second kid was a little bit older, and they are a boy. And they only had one thing on the tag, and it was a soccer ball. And we wanted to, of course, get them a soccer ball, and then also get them a few extra things that kind of like go along with that, something that they maybe could use. So let me show you the gifts that we got for them. So this is the soccer ball that we got for the kids. So it was a 13-year-old boy. So we got the soccer ball that is specifically for the size and weight of ages 13 and up. And there were quite a few different like colors and styles, but we thought this one was like a good classic soccer ball. It says that it is official FIFA. It is a FIFA approved training ball, official size and weight, designed for grass play, meeting FIFA's rebound and reliability standards. So we thought this was like a good kind of just classic soccer ball that they could definitely use, with their like age range. It is kind of a base white, and then there's like these black patterns all around it. So just a good classic soccer ball. So this was their first gift, the gift that they asked for. And then we decided to also throw in these training cones. So these are low profile training cones. It is a 25 pack of them. And my husband and I were talking, and we were thinking like when we were kids and playing in the yard or in like the community grass or something, it was always nice to have something like this to like mark goals or like outline a field. Or if they're doing drills or practicing their dribbling or anything like that, they could definitely use these. So again, we don't know like they will actually have a need for this, if maybe they already have something like this, but we figured we would just kind of throw in just a couple extra things like this. And this is our last gift that we got for our second tag, our second kiddo. And this is a sporty drawstring bag. And this one is by Adidas. And it has a couple of outside net pockets. There's one zip pocket in the front. And then there's the bigger compartment on the inside. And we thought that this was kind of the perfect size for them to be able to throw the soccer ball and those training cones in, so that if they maybe don't have a yard to play in, but they need to like walk to a nearby park, they have something really easy and convenient like this to just kind of throw it all into. And I feel like even if they don't need it for that, I mean, we even have a few drawstring bags like this, and they're just so convenient to like throw in the car, or if we're going like walking around a park or something. It's just so nice to have something simple like this that isn't as hefty as a backpack, but you can really easily like carry things around. So those were all of the gifts that we got. Again, the tags that we had only really had like one or two things listed on them, so we were a little bit more limited, but we think that we did a pretty good job of like fulfilling the tag and doing like a tiny bit extra. So I think I'm going to start by wrapping the Barbie gifts. And for that, I picked out these 2 rolls of wrapping paper. I thought that this one was like really cute. I had actually gotten this one when I bought some birthday gifts for one of my friend's young daughters. And then this one is just like a really cute like winter print. There's some like penguins and polar bears and stuff like that. And so I pulled these 2 out, and I think I'm gonna go with this one. This one is very much more like birthday. I think it's really cute, but I'm wondering if they would maybe prefer having something a little bit more like winter Christmas themed. I have my paper here, and then I have a couple of things of tape. I have one that's just like a regular, like plain one-sided tape, and then I have this one that is a double-sided sticky tape. So if I need either of those, and then I have some trusty scissors. So I have some smaller bits of paper up at the top here, and I think I'm going to try and do these smaller gifts with just this paper first to try and use it up. And then I think with the larger box set, I'm definitely going to have to use some of the larger paper down here. So I've rolled out a little bit here, and I think I am going to wrap these outfits together in just one little package, and I'm going to measure them from this side. So I'll start with this one side, wrap them like this, lay them flat on their front. There we go. Okay, so they are pretty much, we'll have, you know, extra paper if we do this width, so that is good. Okay. And then we will have extra paper if we do up to this line here. So I'm going to fold one side over. And just make sure that that's really nice and snug. And then I'm going to tape here. I'm not the best gift wrapper, but I try my best. So we've got tape there, and then now we can fold up these little side edges. Just going to fold in one corner like that. And then do the same thing with the other corner. And then I like to fold in this little pointed spot just because I think it makes it look a little cleaner. And then I'm going to fold this all the way up to the top. Here we go, just like that. And then now I'm going to do the same thing with this other side. This second side was not as neat as this first side, but I realized there were the little hangers sticking up, so I was trying to work around those. But this is our first little present all wrapped. I think these are so stinking cute. Look at that little penguin. It's got a little candy cane. It's just so adorable. So this is our first present wrapped. And next I'm going to wrap this Barbie wardrobe closet. Oh, I just rolled out this small section just to see, and it's not quite wide enough for either side. Even here, I would have a really, really difficult time making it actually reach the top of the wrapping paper. So I'm not even gonna mess with that. And I'm just gonna trim off this excess paper, and then we'll definitely use it for other smaller gifts. I love wrapping paper that has the guidelines. I'm just going to measure the present to see where it lands on the paper. And it works right at this line. And then now I'm going to measure it going this way. So I've got my slip of paper ready for this. I'm just going to line it up kind of roughly in the middle, and then I'm going to fold one side over and fold the other side over to meet it. And since this is a little bit of a larger one, I'm going to do a couple of pieces of double-sided sticky tape just to make sure that the wrapping paper really stays secure. I'm just doing it on the bottom piece of paper. I'm going to do one down here. Just grab the wrong tape. And then I'm going to do one up here. And then I'm also going to do one in the middle. And then I'll probably still do a regular piece of tape on the outside, but this is just to make sure that it really stays nice and secure. Then one regular piece on the outside. And the wardrobe handles are kind of sticking up a little bit right there, but that's okay. We can make it work. So now I'm going to fold in these edge pieces. First fold in this corner, and then I'm actually going to do a piece of tape to help keep this from flopping around too. And then now I'm going to fold in this other corner. I'm just going to do a little bit of a lip on this piece and then just fold it up. And grab a piece of tape. There we go. This bottom part is done. Let's do that same thing for this top part. And grab my tape. And here we go again, not the prettiest on the edges, but it is a present and it is wrapped. And oh my gosh, these little narwhals, I didn't even see those. Those are so freaking cute. I love this wrapping paper. Okay. And then this is the last present that we have to wrap for our little girl. And again, I don't think that the extra paper that we have is going to be big enough, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I'm sure there's a way to use like actual scraps of wrapping paper for bigger presents, but we always just save all of our little scraps and we end up finding small presents to use them for. Did just barely measure wrong, so I'm actually going to cut a tiny little slit of the same wrapping paper just to cover this little excess part. Okay, so I just got an extra piece of this paper and kind of lined up the pattern as best as I could. nice. This is another instance when having little scraps of paper kind of work out nicely. That saying, it's like measure twice, cut once. Well, I kind of failed at that. Alright, so we've got these kind of as good as they're gonna get, so let me do these edges now. Now I'm going to do a couple of pieces of tape on this one. Here we go. And then now to do the same thing on this side. And I'm going to take a few pieces of tape for this edge. Alright, we had a little bit of a crisis with this present, but from the front, you can't even really tell. So, this kind of worked out. This is what I mean by I'm not the best gift wrapper, but it gets wrapped. So those were all of the gifts for our first tag. So now I'm going to go ahead and wrap the gifts for the second kiddo. And then for the young boy, I picked out these two rolls of wrapping paper from our bag. And I'm kind of torn. I feel like this one is much more like Christmassy. This one might be a little bit more like teenage boy. Honestly, I don't know that a teenage boy is really going to care about either of those or what his presents are wrapped in. But maybe I will go ahead and do the like polka dot one. I don't know. I think it'll be okay either one I choose. So I think I'm going to do this one. And then I am first going to wrap the most ambitious one. This is the soccer ball, and it's a really interesting shape, so I honestly have really no clue how I'm actually gonna do this. So we're gonna wing it, and hopefully it turns out somewhat okay. And I don't really even know how to measure this, but I'm gonna try. Alright, I think I have enough paper. I think I'm gonna do something a little bit strange and try and wrap it standing up like this, or is that weird? I don't know. I think I'm gonna try it. And then if you have any tips for wrapping weird shaped presents like this, feel free to let me know. So I'm going to bring up one side like this, just right on the top, and then grab the other side and have it meet in the middle. And then I'm going to tape right on the top. Just like that. And then now let's try and do something with these sides. I think I have like way too much on the sides that I definitely did not need. So I just trimmed a little bit off of this side, and then I'm hoping that that kind of makes this folding part a little bit easier. I'm going to press down straight through the middle, and then I'm going to do a little bit of tape, just because there's a lot of paper kind of going around here. Okay, this is what this side looks like, and it looks kind of crazy, but it works. And we had talked about just doing like gift bags and putting the presents in, but I just remember as a kid, I really enjoyed being able to open like individual presents, so I thought it'd be worth it for me to just like try and wrap this one. Alright, so I just trimmed off a little bit of that excess on this other side, so now we can go ahead and try our best to fold it. So this is the worst wrapping job I think I've ever done on a present. So this poor kid is going to have to open this up. But you know what? It is wrapped, and I will just kind of take that as, you know, somewhat of a win. I think let's go for the next most challenging item, although I think this will be less challenging than the soccer ball. Okay. This one is also tricky because it has this like little stand for them that just kind of like sticks straight up. I've actually decided to wrap this one with this part facing down because I think that'll be a little bit easier. Alright, this is another present wrapped. So let's go ahead and finish off with the last present. Alright, this one I am hoping will be much easier for me. It should be much easier. So I'm going to tuck in these strings just like that, and then have it just folded like this in half. Alright, I somehow mismeasured again because I think it's really late and I'm very tired. So I'm just going to use another little strip to cover the middle. Here we go, and then now I can do these edges. So we've got that one side done. Let's go ahead and do this last side. Here we go. Here is our last gift all wrapped. This one I think is quite a bit nicer than the other two. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all of the gifts so that we can see them all together. So here are all of the gifts together. I think these ones turned out much nicer than these ones. So I do feel a little bit bad about that, but I hope that this teenage boy does not mind too much. I feel like most teenage boys probably would not care really at all how their presents are wrapped. I hope that you enjoyed this very chaotic video as I wrapped some of these gifts. I'm very excited to go drop these off tomorrow, and I hope that the kids that we got enjoy their gifts. We did try kind of our best to think about like some little extra things that we can throw in here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that